好，我们现在就请李佩玲姐妹来这里为主做见证。
So now we invite Sister Betty to come up to share God's grace.
请同心默祷。
Let's all bow our heads and pray in silence.
阿们。奉主耶稣圣名在这里做见证。
In the name of Lord Jesus Christ, I testify.
很感谢主耶稣让我有这机会来这里做见证。
I thank God that I have this opportunity to come here to testify to all of you.
我大约是在2009年的秋天来慕道的。
It was around 2009 in the fall that I came as a truth seeker.
会来教会的原因是因为我有严重的产后忧郁症。
And the reason why I came was because after I gave birth, I had depression.
我大概讲述一下我怀孕的过程，还有生产的过程。
And so I'll just share a little bit about the process of my birth and the birth, and also when I was pregnant.
在怀孕的前4个月，我因为孕吐非常厉害，所以我瘦了20磅左右。
So the first 4 months of when I was pregnant, I had really bad morning sickness.
后期我又会喘。
And I lost 20 pounds. And then after, I started to wheeze.
一开始是走路喘。
At first, it was when I was walking, I wouldn't be able to catch my breath.
之后我连说话都会喘。
And then after, it was even as I was talking, I would not be able to catch my breath.
当时我的心情没有一天是快乐的。
At that time, I did not feel any happiness in my life.
可以说是每天都在哭。
You could say that every day I was crying.
怀孕前我的体重是123磅。
Before I was pregnant, I was 123 pounds.
但是我去生产的时候，我只有124磅。
But when I gave birth, I was only 124 pounds.
只有增加1磅。
So I only gained 1 pound.
到流血的时候，我去医院。
And once I was bleeding, I went to the hospital.
我并没有感觉到子宫有很强烈的收缩或疼痛。
But I didn't feel much pain from the contractions or pain at all.
也没有打止痛药就生完了。
And I didn't take any painkillers, and I gave birth.
只有短短的4个小时的产程。
And through the birthing process, it was a very short 4 hours.
产后我开始没有办法睡觉。
And after I gave birth, I was unable to sleep.
精神非常的好。精神就是。
I was always awake.
然后对温度还有味觉都变得很不敏感。
I was unable to taste or feel different temperatures.
情绪上也没有很大的反应。
My mood didn't have many changes either.
而且变得非常的镇静。
I became very calm.
比如说，新手妈妈应该看到孩子会很紧张，在哭的时候，但是我完全不会。
For example, for a first-time mother, if you see your child cry, you should be very nervous.
但是我也不会觉得我小孩子很可爱。
But I also didn't think that my child was very cute.
心情不会有很大的起伏，比方说很高兴、很快乐或者很生气。
I didn't have any big reactions with joy, happiness, or even being angry.
也不会觉得肚子会饿，或是肚子会饱。
I also didn't feel hungry or that I was full.
变得不喜欢跟人家说话，也不喜欢出门。
I became where I didn't like to talk to people and I didn't like to go outside.
记得有一次，我想要测试我自己到底对这个温度的是如何的迟钝。
I remember one time I wanted to test myself of how slow I would feel different temperatures.
所以我就煮水。
So I boiled some water.
等水滚了。
And as I waited for it to boil, after it boiled,
我拿了汤匙装了1勺。
And I used a spoon to use 1 ladle.
吹了一下。
1 spoonful and I blew it.
就把它吞下去了。
And I swallowed the water.
口中只是觉得温温的。
And in my mouth it just felt a little bit warmth.
用我的舌头去顶上颚。
And I used my tongue to feel the top of the roof of my mouth.
才发现我上面的薄膜已经破掉了，掉下来。
And then I realized, as I put my tongue to the roof of my mouth, that it had already burned and it had fallen down.
我却不会觉得痛，也不会觉得烫。
Even though the roof of my mouth had fallen down, I did not feel that it hurt.
所以我知道我不可以用我自己的温度的标准来泡牛奶给我的孩子喝，或是洗澡。
So I knew that I could not use my own sense of temperature to prepare a bath for my child or to prepare his milk.
味觉也变得不敏感了。
I also lost the ability to taste in my mouth too.
我记得我吃了一大块的大拇指的芥末，
I remember eating about a thumb size worth of wasabi,
也不会觉得呛鼻子、流眼泪，
and I didn't feel that burning sensation or wanting to tear or having to tear
因为我没有觉得肚子饿或是饱的感觉，
because I never felt hungry or full.
我就觉得我的肠胃是不是有问题，
So I started to wonder if there was something wrong with my intestines.
就开始有厌食的倾向。
So I started to have no inclination to eat either.
常常趁我先生不在的时候，我就将食物丢到垃圾桶里面。
And many times when my husband wasn't home, I would just throw the food into the garbage can.
那时候我瘦到100磅左右，
And at that time, I lost weight all the way to 100 pounds.
晚上睡觉的时候，两只脚会不定时的抽搐，
And at night when I slept, my 2 legs would have continuous muscle cramps.
也没办法睡觉。
And I wasn't able to sleep.
朋友就给我安眠药，
So my friends gave me some sleeping pills.
药效大概是4个小时的深度睡眠。
And so the medicine is supposed to let me be able to have deep sleep for 4 hours.
我吃下去，躺在床上，
After I took the medication, I laid down in the bed.
意识上好像是眼睛一眨的时间，
And in my mind, it felt like I had just blinked one time.
睁开眼睛4个小时过了，可是我完全不知道时间已经过了。
And after opening my eyes, 4 hours later, it felt that I didn't even realize 4 hours had passed.
身体应该有休息，但是我的精神上是完全没有。
I feel that my body had probably received rest, but my own mind, I wasn't able to notice if I did.
这个时候我才发现我的感觉神经有很大的问题，相当的痛苦。
And so at that time, I realized that I had probably some big issues with my nervous system.
所以我不知道如何是好，所以只能每天哭。
And so I felt very sad and I didn't know what to do.
邻居的奶妈就是郑阿姨，郑慧玉阿姨，她是我们教会的。
So my neighbor's nanny is Mama Zen from church.
她看到我，她就天天来关心我。
And when she saw me, she would continually every day come to me to take care of me.
她拿圣灵月刊给我看，
And she brought me the Holy Spirit monthly for me to read.
郑阿姨跟我说
And Auntie Zen told me
主耶稣会救你，你一定要来教会。
that Jesus Christ will save you, so you must come to church.
她叫我如何怎么祷告，
And she taught me how to pray.
也帮我祷告，
And she helped me pray.
还一直邀约我来教会。
And she kept inviting me to church.
最后我就想，那我来教会看看吧。
So at the end, I thought to myself, okay, I'll come to church to check it out.
第一次来到教会，
And the first time I came to church,
才进教会的大门，
I just entered the doors of the church.
听到了赞美诗，我就情不自禁的流泪。
And after listening to the hymnal praises, I started to cry.
正到完要到去前面祷告，我也一直哭。
And after the sermon, when we came to the front to pray, I still continued to cry.
当时教会的姐妹以为我是一位60几岁的老太太来慕道，
And at that time, the members of the church actually thought that I was a 60-year-old old lady who had come as a truth seeker.
瘦瘦小小的，没有任何的表情，
Very skinny and weak and without any expression on my face.
完全不会跟任何人打招呼。
And I didn't say hi to anybody.
开始慕道，
I started truth seeking.
教会的姐妹常常打电话关心我，
And the sisters from church kept calling me to follow up with me.
到家里面来探访我。
They came to my house and visited me.
传道也定期来家里面解释圣经给我听。
And even the pastor came to come explain the Bible to me.
大家不厌其烦地听我描述我的问题一遍又一遍。
And everyone continued to listen to my problems over and over again.
大家也鼓励我要多多的祷告。
They encouraged me to continue to pray.
再记得有一个星期五的晚上，在家里面祷告。
And I remember a Friday night that I prayed at home.
祷告的内容，我是希望我可以有机会摸到主耶稣的衣服得医治。
And during that prayer, I thought to myself that I hoped I could touch his cloth so I could receive healing.
隔天的安息日到了教会，
The next day on Sabbath, I came to church.
正套的主题居然是教会是主耶稣的身体。
And the topic was actually the church is Jesus Christ's body.
又让我泪流满面。
And that made me cry again.
神让我知道要继续的来教会。
God had let me know that I had to continue to come to church.
感谢主，在慕道的期间，我对温度的敏感还有味觉都慢慢的回来。
Thank God that during the time that I had come to church, my sensitivity to taste and temperature had slowly come back.
慕道的期间，我的精神状况时好时坏。
And while I was here truth seeking, I had several mood swings.
坏的时候，我天天吵着我先生，我要去看医生。
And when it was bad, I would ask and nag my husband, can I go to the hospital? Can I go see the doctor?
所以我看过了很多的中医，很多的西医，花了好多钱。
So I actually spent a lot of money to see different doctors, Chinese doctors and Western doctors.
但是都没有效，
But nothing helped.
也去看了心理医生，
I even went to go see a psychologist.
就一直在试不同的忧郁症的药，
And I tried many types of medication for depression.
每2个星期就换不同的药，
And every 2 weeks, I would try a new different type of medication.
持续了好久，
And this continued for a very long
都没有
time.
进步。
And there was no type of improvement.
最后我就不想再试了，
So I didn't want to try anymore.
也产生了自杀的念头，
I even started to have thoughts of suicide.
觉得自己存在对孩子跟先生都是一种负担。
I believe that my existence it was a burden to my husband and my child.
所以自杀的念头一直在脑海里面浮现，
So I continue to have thoughts of suicide in my mind.
也想清楚要在什么地方、什么时间，然后用什么方法来解决我自己的生命。
I had even thought of the time, the day, and how I was going to commit suicide.
当时的我觉得自己就像是一个掉在深井里面的青蛙，跳都跳不出来。
I had felt like a frog that had fell into a deep, deep well and I could not jump out.
只求神可以用他慈爱怜悯的手将我拉出来，或者是让我快一点死掉。
I was only able to continue to ask for God that He would share His love with me to pull me out, or that I would just quickly die.
到了2011年的初，
In the beginning of 2011,
慕道1年多，
this was after truth seeking for about a year,
我听到了一位长老的一个证道，
and I heard a sermon from an elder.
内容说到，不是每一个人都有机会受洗，
And the topic included that not everybody has the opportunity to get baptized,
要把握受洗的机会。
that we need to hold fast onto this chance.
当时的我觉得自己人生已经走到了尽头了，
At that time, I felt that my life had already gone to its end.
我希望自己的灵魂得救，
I had hoped that my spirit could at least receive salvation.
不想到地狱里面去受苦。
I didn't want to go to hell to suffer.
但同时我又有第2个想法，
But I also had a second thought.
也许神会因为受洗医治我的病，
Maybe if I received baptism, I would also be healed.
所以就报名了受洗。
So at that time, I signed up to be baptized.
记得在受洗的前一天晚上，
And I remembered that the night before I was baptized,
睡前在听正道的时候，
before I went to sleep, I listened to a sermon.
好像是神帮我特选的正道的内容。
And it seemed like God had specifically picked the topic for me.
内容讲到，
And the topic included,
我们起初去教会的动机跟受洗的目的是不一样的。
the beginning of why we go to church and the reason why we receive baptism is different.
受洗是要相信耶稣，追求永生，神的国度。
Receiving baptism is because we believe in God and we want to go towards salvation and His heavenly kingdom.
而不是为了要得医治。
And it's not because of receiving healing.
受洗得医治是神给的特别恩典。
And receiving healing is actually a special grace from God.
当时我很惊讶，
And at that time, I was very surprised
因为神知道我的想法，
because God had knew what I was thinking.
但我想了很清楚，
But I thought clearly,
我也想了很久。
and I thought for a very, very long time.
最后我想，我的灵魂得救，就算没医治也 OK。
So I realized that if my spirit was able to receive salvation, but I was not able to receive healing, then it was okay.
所以我决定去受洗。
So I decided to get baptized.
回想我自己在慕道期间，
So thinking back of when I was truth
我的祷告内容
when I was praying,
只是在抱怨别人，
would only include prayers of holding grudges,
环境让我生病，
about how the environment had caused me to be sick,
求神怜悯医治我，
and to ask God to heal me.
但我完全没有自我的反省跟向神悔改。
But I had no thought of repenting or changing.
慢慢的多听了道理才明白，
And after listening to the sermons and truth and gospel slowly,
圣经上有记载，
the Bible had written
生命是属神的，
that the life belongs to God,
孩子是神给的产业，
and children is an inheritance given from God.
我们要爱惜生命，
We need to love life.
才开始理会到我自己犯了很大的罪。
And that is when I realized I had committed a great sin.
神给我机会怀孕，
God had given me the chance to become pregnant.
而我却没有爱惜这小小的生命在我的肚子里面，
However, I had not taken the time to love this little life within me.
却一直抱怨，不懂得珍惜。
And instead, I continued to hold grudges, and I was not able to be content.
受洗完，
After receiving baptism,
透过教会姐妹跟弟兄的带导，
after many prayers from the brothers and sisters,
神让我的病慢慢的好起来。
God allowed my illness to slowly become better.
神也同时医治我忧伤的心灵。
And God had also at the same time healed my sorrowful spirit.
现在的我已经没有轻生的念头了。
And now I have no thoughts of suicide.
如果我没有来教会，也许我已经死了。
If I had not come to church, I may have already died.
感谢主耶稣的带领，让我来到教会神的家，
I thank God for His grace in leading me to come to His home,
让我的生命从黑暗走向了光明。
so that I can walk from the darkness to the light.
神将我需要的赐给我，
God had given me the things that I needed,
神给的福气是超越我想象的。
and His grace was more abundant than I could ever think of.
教会的弟兄姐妹对我的关怀不断的带导，
The brothers and sisters' care and prayer never stopped,
让我非常的感动。
and it touched my heart,
真心的感谢大家。
and I truly thank everyone.
我还有一些小小的见证。
And I have other mini testimonies.
在2010年底回台湾的2个星期，
At the end of 2010, I went back to Taiwan.
我先生的叔叔的太太，
My husband's uncle's wife,
她很好意的带我去庙宇去问偶像。
so my aunt very kindly took me to the temple to ask the idols.
她说要带衣服去，
And she said that you have to bring clothes.
偶像说，带衣服去之后呢，那些衣服要在家里面穿好几天就会有效。
And the idol said that if you wore these clothes for a few days, then it would have effect.
但是穿了几天都没有效果，
But after wearing a few days, nothing happened.
于是这些衣服又带回了美国，
So I brought these clothes back to the US,
也没有把这个事情放在心上。
and I didn't think about it.
等回到美国之后，
After returning to the US,
儿子就没有平安了。
my son had no peace.
Alex 会每天下午一直哭，
Every afternoon, Alex, my son, would continue to cry.
而且对着墙壁或是衣柜喊叔叔叔叔。
And he would look at the wall or the closet and yell out, "Uncle."
那里什么东西都没有，但是他就是一直的哭闹。
There was nothing there, but he would just continually cry.
我就觉得很奇怪，就跟传道提及这件事情，
And so I thought it was very strange, so I told the pastor.
传道就马上将这些衣服给除去。
And so the pastor quickly took all of these clothes and disposed of them.
之后 Alex 他就不会再哭闹了。
And then after that, Alex did not cry.
所以我们知道在圣经上他有记载，
So we know that in the Bible it says,
神是忌邪的神，
God is a jealous God.
我们不可以又拜鬼又拜真神。
We can't pray and worship idols and also worship our God at the same time.
不可以有2个主。
We cannot have two masters.
然后另外一个小体验就是，有一次星期四在教会查经的时候，
Another experience was that during a Bible study on Thursdays,
在吃饭的时候，
during the mealtime,
我没有很仔细的将这个鱼刺挑出来，
I did not carefully take out the fish bones out of the fish.
我就喂 Alex 吃。
And I fed the fish to my son Alex.
想他应该会自己吐出来。
And I figured that he would just spit it out himself.
大概吃了2口左右，
After eating 2 bites,
他就哭着说
he started to cry and he said,
喉咙痛痛，喉咙痛痛。
my throat hurts, my throat hurts.
我就想完了，鱼刺刺到了。
And I thought, oh no, it must have been the fish bones.
于是我叫他吃1大口的稀饭，
So I told him to eat a huge mouthful of the porridge.
他还是吃了之后还是说痛痛，
And after he ate it, he said that it still hurt.
一直哭，
And he kept crying
哭到大家都说那喝点水吧，
until everybody started saying, oh, drink some water.
但还是没有用，
But that didn't work.
他越哭越大声。
And he kept crying, and it was louder than before.
这时候传道娘慧凤姐就跑过来跟我说
And at that time, Preacher Cho's wife told me,
赶快到会堂祷告，求主耶稣帮助。
quickly run to the chapel and pray.
她很快的抱起了 Alex，
And she quickly picked up Alex.
我们就到会堂祷告约2到3分钟左右。
And we prayed in the chapel for 2 to 3 minutes.
Alex 就不哭了，
And Alex stopped crying.
还说不痛了，
And he said, oh, it doesn't hurt anymore.
他还笑了。
And he smiled.
他说鱼刺不见了。
He said, the fish bone is gone.
慧凤姐就跟 Alex 说，主耶稣医好你，要记得跟主耶稣谢谢。
And so the pastor's wife told Alex, you have to tell God thank you.
Alex 说好。
And he said, okay.
当天晚上回家，他真的就跟主耶稣谢谢。
And so that night when we went home, he told God thank you.
Alex 他本身呢气管不是很好，
Alex's respiratory system is actually not that great.
他很容易受寒，
And it is very easy for him to catch a cold.
不管是早上或是晚上都很容易咳嗽，
And it didn't matter if it was at night or day, he would cough.
有时候睡觉一直咳，
And sometimes even when he was sleeping, he would continue to cough.
半夜咳得不停，没办法睡觉。
And in the middle of the night, he would continue to cough where he could not fall asleep.
有一天我就跟他说，
And so one day I told him,
因为他咳得很厉害，
because he was coughing quite violently,
我说你要不要跟主耶稣求治你的咳嗽呢？
and I said, do you want to pray to God and ask God to heal your
他说
cough?
他说要。
And he said, yes.
平常祷告的他总是扭来扭去，就
And
是坐着，
usually when he was praying, he would move around or just sit there.
然后也不跪着，
And he wouldn't kneel.
那个手就是动来动去，很不专心。
And his hands would just move around and he would not be concentrating.
那天他跪得很好，
And that day he kneeled very obediently.
他也很专心的自己跟主耶稣说，
And he concentratedly told God
求主耶稣治他的咳嗽，
to ask God to heal him of his cough.
还要我帮他说一次。
And he wanted me to also repeat the same thing.
当天晚上他睡得非常的安稳，
And that night he slept very peacefully.
隔天早上吃完早餐的时候，
The next day, after eating breakfast,
他主动的跟我说
he told me, Mommy,：“
妈咪，我都没有咳嗽了，主耶稣治好我的咳嗽了。
Mommy, I'm not coughing anymore. God healed my cough. ”
他就很高兴的去上课。
And he went to school.
过了几个星期，
And after a few weeks,
换我先生在咳，
it was that my husband was starting to cough.
也咳得好厉害。
And he started to cough very violently too.
有一天我们在睡前祷告的时候，
And so one night before we were sleeping and we prayed,
先生刚好走进房间，
my husband walked into the room
又在咳。
and he was coughing.
Alex 就说
And Alex, my son,：“
爸比，
said,
你为什么不祷告
he said, Dad, why aren't you praying?？”
我先生回答说：“
And my
我不
husband
用。
said, I don't need to.
Alex 就说
And so Alex said,：“
就是你不祷告，咳嗽才不会好。
he said, it's because you didn't pray. That's why your cough is not getting better. ”
我现在就跟 Alex 说：“那你帮我祷告。
So my husband told Alex, oh, why don't you help me pray then?”
Alex 那天又很专心的为爸爸祷告，
And so Alex, that night, he prayed very well for his father.
求神让爸爸的咳嗽赶快
He
好起
prayed
来。
that his father's cough would quickly get better soon.
我去年回台湾的时候，
Last year when I was in Taiwan,
才知道先生的弟弟跟太太
was when I knew that my husband's younger brother's wife
已经在别的教会受洗了，
had already received baptism in another church,
但不敢跟公婆知道，
but they would not want to let our grandparents know
因为公婆他们有自己的信仰30多年了。
because our grandparents had their own faith for about 30 years.
有一天晚上到小婶家过夜，
One night we went and stayed over at our aunt's house,
小婶就拿起婆婆给她的水果请我吃。
and our aunt gave us the fruit that my grandparents gave them.
这些水果婆婆有跟我提及，
And these fruits, my grandma had told me
是拜过的，
that it had been worshipped before,
所以我不敢吃。
and so I was afraid to eat it.
我就跟小婶说，不可以吃拜过的东西。
And so I told my aunt that we cannot eat food that had been worshipped before to idols.
她说他们的牧师没有说，
And she said that her pastor had never said anything like that.
她就问我为什么不能吃。
And she asked me, why can we not eat it?
我回答说，圣经上有记载。
And I said that the Bible had actually recorded.
她说在哪里？
And she said, where?
我当时也不知道在哪里，
And at that time, I really didn't know where either.
我心里很想翻给她看，
And in my heart, I really wanted to flip the Bible verse to her.
心里想主啊，帮我翻一下。
And in my heart, I said, God, please help me flip to the right page.
刚好在他们家的桌上有圣经，
And on their table, there was a Bible.
我就乱翻了一下，
And so I just quickly flipped randomly.
就翻到了哥林多前书的10章14节。
And I flipped to 1 Corinthians chapter 10, verse 14.
它的主题有讲到偶像的筵席跟主的晚餐，
And the topic was in regards to the Feast of Idols and the Lord's Prayer,
因为这一
or
章里
Lord's Supper.
因为这一章里面有清楚的解释为什么我们不能吃拜过的东西。
And in this chapter, it explained clearly why we cannot partake the food that has been worshipped to idols.
我也吓一跳，
And I surprised myself.
马上拿给小婶看。
And I quickly gave it to my aunt to look at.
她说：“你把圣经看过一遍了吗？
And she said, have you read the whole Bible?
不然你怎么知道在哪里
How do you know where the verse was recorded?？”
我说没有，
And I said, no.
我自己也觉得很惭愧，
And I felt very ashamed myself.
因为我一遍都没有看完。
Because actually, I've never read the Bible
我知
fully
道是
one
神帮
time.
我翻的。
And I knew that it was that God was helping me flip the Bible at the time.
在1998年的10月，我来到美国读语言学校。
In 1998, I came to the U.S. to attend a language school.
当时住在先生的同学家，
And at that time, I stayed at my husband's classmate's house.
同学是房东，
And our classmate was the landlord.
他住在洛杉矶
And he
的
lived in L.A.,
喜瑞都。
in the Cerritos area.
有一个星期六还是星期五的晚上，我不记得了。
And I don't remember whether it was a Friday or Saturday.
房东很好意的约我去他的教会，
And the landlord kindly invited me to their church
因为他才刚受洗。
because he had just been baptized.
我说好，
And I said, okay,
因为去那里可以吃免费的晚餐，
because there you could have a free dinner.
我就一口答应了。
And so at one time I said, okay.
当时的我对基督教只知道耶稣、上帝、圣经，
So at that time, my knowledge of Christianity was just God, Jesus, and the Bible.
心里想免费的晚餐真好。
And in my heart, I thought to myself, a free dinner, that's awesome.
当晚根本不知道台上的人在讲些什么，
And that night, I had no idea what the sermon speaker was talking about.
但是印象很深刻的就是他们的祷告方式。
But I had a strong reaction, I remembered strongly the prayer.
没有人预先告诉我他们的祷告方式，
Nobody had warned me beforehand of the prayer.
大家开始祷告，就听到有人大声的喊，
And as we continued to pray, I heard someone shout,
也有人在哭，
and there was people who were crying.
偷偷打开眼睛看，
And so I sneakily opened my eyes,
大家动来动去，
and as I peeked, I saw that people were moving around.
不晓得在做什么，
And I didn't know what they were doing.
心里想，祷告的方式怎么跟电视、跟电影的都不一样啊？
And so I thought to myself, how come prayer is not the same as what I've seen on TV or in the movies?
所以我当时非常的害怕。
And so I was very scared.
就在祷告的时候，我在心里默喊，
And so as we were praying, in my heart, I silently yelled.
南无阿弥陀佛。
I started saying the chant for Muslims, not Buddhist chant.
一直默喊。
And I continued to re-say the Buddhist chant.
记得有人为我按手，
And I remember someone laid hands on me,
我又更害怕，
and it made me even more scared.
我又喊了
And I continued to repeat the Buddhist chant.
观世音菩萨南无阿弥陀佛。
That is the Buddhist chant.
一直到祷告结束，
Until the end of prayer.
我之后就不敢再去了。
And after that, I was so scared I didn't want to go back.
房东约我好多次，我都说我要留在学校。
And many times the landlord invited me, but I decided to stay at school.
几十年过去了，
After many years,
这个小插曲我也不记得了。
this small tangent I totally forgot.
但受洗后的几个月，
But after being baptized a few months,
那位旧房东突然打电话给我，从圣地亚哥。
this old landlord called me from San Diego.
第一句话就说哈利路亚。
And the first thing they said was, Hallelujah.
我很惊讶的说：“你怎么会跟我说这个呢
And I was surprised and I said, why would you say this to me?？”
他说：“恭喜你受洗了。
And she said, oh, congratulations, you've been baptized. ”
原来他也是真耶稣教会的。
I didn't realize that they were also from True Jesus Church.
旧房东说，
And so this landlord said,
当他听到我生病，也一直为我祷告，
when he heard that I was also sick, he had also continued to pray for me,
求神让我可以来教会。
and prayed that I could come to church.
虽然很久没有跟他联络了，但还一直关心我。
Even though I had not stayed connected with this person for so long, he still continued to care for me.
心里觉得很感动，
And in my heart, I feel very touched.
感谢主，
Thank God.
神奇妙的带领，又让我有机会接触到他的真教会。
God's surprising guidance had led me to the true church,
有机会让我听到他的福音，
allowed me to hear the true gospel.
在我感觉到人生最尽头的时候，
And when I had felt that it was the end of my life,
让我有机会真正的认识他，
to allow me to truly get to know him,
领受他的丰富恩典。
to receive his abundant grace and blessings.
愿一切荣耀都归在他的圣名之下，哈利路亚！感谢主耶稣。
May all the glory be upon his name. Hallelujah.
好，我们谢谢贝蒂姐妹她的见证。
And we thank Sister Betty, for her sharing.
贝蒂姐妹刚刚说她是09年来慕道的，
Sister Betty shared with us that she came as a truth seeker in 2009.
那这也是这个郑阿姨在她离开我们圣和西教会所交给小弟的任务。
And this was also when our sister Jen, when she left, she gave me this mission.
尤其后来贝蒂姐妹她有这个轻生的念头的时候，
And when Sister Betty had thoughts of suicide,
这个弟兄姐妹大家都很迫切在祷告。
many brothers and sisters prayed for her.
那一阵子记得小弟跟小弟的内人每个礼拜跟有一些弟兄姐妹到他家去。
I remember that every week, my wife and I would actually go to her house.
感谢神，他最后他洗礼的时候，在从洗礼场回来的路上，
Thank God that at the time of returning from the baptism,
小弟开车的时候就会放赞美诗。
and when I was driving, I would put hymns of praise.
他突然跟我讲说：“传道，你这个诗歌很好听哎。”
And she suddenly told me, oh, these hymns of praise sound really nice.
因为就如同他刚刚的见证之前到他的家里他都没有什么样很大的这个情绪上的波动。
And just like she had mentioned, that when we went to her house to visit her, she didn't have many changes in her mood.
也可以说没有什么喜怒哀乐。
There was no joy, no happiness, no sadness.
就一直觉得这个对人生没有盼望，没有希望，什么都提不起劲，什么都不关心这样。
It was as if she was very weak. She didn't care for the earth. She had no feelings at all.
所以她突然说：“赞美诗好好听，小弟很感谢神，非常的感动。”
And so when all of a sudden she said that, oh, the hymns of praise sound really wonderful, I felt very touched.
主耶稣医治好他这个心灵的这个忧伤。
That God had cured her sorrowful spirit.
这是小弟对他印象很深刻的一个体验。
And this is what I remember very clearly of her experiences.
那刚刚在见证里头有谈到，在信主之前有关这个说这个祭拜做法的这个衣服的这个事情。
And she had also shared about how before she came to believe, there were these clothing for idols
我们
that
晓
was
得
worshipped.
耶稣基督的福音是要救人脱离这个黑暗的辖制，进到光明，脱离撒旦的权下，归向神的。
And we know that God, as He shares His gospel with us, it is to lead the darkness to the light, to go towards Him.
当然黑暗的掌权者魔鬼撒旦不会善罢甘休，一定会想尽办法阻挡的。
But of course, we know that the person in charge of all this darkness, Satan, will not simply just let it go.
这个黑暗的势力这个魔鬼撒旦，它是确实存在的。
And the power of Satan is truly there.
所以当贝蒂姐妹告诉小弟说，这个 Alex 一直对着墙壁或者对着那个衣柜一直叫 uncle 叫叔叔小弟就觉得这个有问题。
So when Sister Betty told me that Alex was yelling at the wall or the closet saying, "Uncle, Uncle," I knew that there was something wrong.
也许我们的家人他也是为了我们好他因为不晓得想要借着他们所认识的这个神明来带给我们平安。
Maybe our own family or friends are just trying to reach out to us to care for us and giving us different idols to give us peace or help.
但是我们知道那些并不是神。
But we know that those are not God.
唯有耶稣基督才能给我们真正的平安。
That only Jesus Christ can give us true peace.
那在小弟牧会的经验里头
During my ministry,
确实有很多我们慕道朋友在决心要报名洗礼的时候都有遇到很明显的阻挡的事情。
there have been experiences of when the true seekers have signed up and registered to be baptized, but certain things have actually tried to stop them.
原本家人都同意了，突然反对了。
For example, all of their family members had already agreed and been okay with the decision, but all of a sudden,
不然就是自己或者是小孩生起病来了。
all of a sudden they declined and said, "No, you can't," or they themselves or their children became ill.
那甚至会借着一些这个超自然的这是现象来阻挡，来让我们觉得不安。
Or maybe because of natural things that would happen that would cause us to not have peace.
就像说这个供桌上祖先牌位突然整个倒下来或者是那个供桌上面那个香炉自己烧起来了。
For example, for Buddhists, there's a table and then there's plaques for different their ancestors. The plaque would fall down or the incense would just spark on its own.
哇，祖先不高兴啦。
And they would say, "Oh, it's because the ancestors are unhappy with this decision."
甚至小弟的妹夫妹婿他要洗礼的那一天
My
brother-in-law
my brother-in-law went that day that he was going to be baptized.
那他就到教会对面那因为他看到教会门是关着，所以他就在教会的对街 坐在这个摩托车上面一直等盯着教会看。
And he noticed that the church doors were closed, so he was across the street sitting on his motorcycle, waiting for the doors to open.
奇怪怎么今天教会都没有人呢？
And he said to himself, "Oh, it's weird. How come there was nobody at church today?
会不会取消不洗礼啦？
Would they have canceled the baptism?
都没有人进去也没有人出来啊。
There's nobody who went in and nobody who came out.
门是关着的。
And the door is closed.
想一想说，那我回去好了。
And so he thought to himself, "Oh, I'll just go home."
就在这个时候后面有人拍他，回头一看，教会的长老。
And at that time, someone patted him on the back, and he turned around, and it was the church's elder.
那告诉我这个妹婿说：“你怎么在这里？大家急着在找你呀！”
And he told my brother-in-law, "Why are you here? Everybody's scurrying around looking for you."
我妹婿说：“哪有？我在这边等了快1个钟头啊，教会的门都关着，都没有人进进出出。”长老说：“怎么可能没有人进进出出？忙得很啊，怎么会没有人进出？”你看那个黑暗的力量就把他眼睛给遮起来了。
And he said, "I've been sitting here and there's been nobody coming in or out." And the elder said, "No, there's been plenty of people running around being really busy looking for you." And it's truly the power of the darkness that had covered his eyes.
记得上次洗礼那个陈娟姐妹她的这个奶奶外婆佳佳要洗礼之前突然就拉血了我们还记得还帮她祷告过。
I remember last time Sister Jen's grandmother was about to be baptized, but she also all of a sudden started bleeding, so we knelt down and prayed for her.
这个都是阻挡所以我们千万不要害怕。
And these are all things that try to stop us, but we should not be afraid.
下定决心一定要归回这个归到主的光明，归向神里头。
And we need to be sure of ourselves to want to be with Christ.
那刚刚见证有谈到那个 Alex 很可爱
And during the testimony, it was also shared of Alex, who's very cute.
他帮他爸爸祷告。
To how he prayed for his father.
圣经告诉我们，孩童的动作都是正直、是清洁、是出于本性的。
And we know that any action from a child is very pure, naive, and clean.
所以主耶稣也说，我们要回转成孩童的样式，才能进神的国。
So the same for us, where we need to turn back and become just like a child, so that we can enter heaven.
最后贝蒂姐妹有谈到说，其实在她慕道将近这个9年10年之前他就曾经接触过我们的信徒，来过教会。
And lastly, she had also shared how 9 to 10 years before she had even come to church, she actually had connected with someone from our church before.
那时候因为不知道也许可能在聚会之前没有弟兄姐妹跟他解释我们的祷告灵言祷告的情况。
And so at that time, nobody had explained to her about our prayer with the Holy Spirit.
所以让他因为害怕反而这个在念一些偶像的法号。
And so because of fear, she continued to chant the Buddhist chant over and over again.
还好神怜悯
Thank God that God
mercy
had mercy on her.
其实我们如果说我们带领第一次来的朋友无论是家庭的福音茶会也好，或者是我们来到教会的布道会可以先试着跟我们的朋友解释一下这个有关灵言祷告。
If we ever bring first-time friends to church, to evangelical service, to gospel tea night, we should try to explain to them our prayer.
那并且在进行灵言祷告的过程当中我们陪着我们的朋友。
And during the process of prayer, to also sit and accompany them.
那不要说我们自己跑去祷告，把他一个人晾到那边他越看越害怕
We should not leave them alone. For example, during prayer, we run off to pray on our own, and because if we leave them alone, they may become more scared.
那如果有陪在旁边跟他解释他就会比较明白晓得。
And because if we sit next to them to explain it to them, then they would understand much better.
然后再进一步邀请说，那一起跪下来，我们来祷告，来体验。
We can also go further and say, "Oh, would you like to kneel down and pray with us to experience God?"
以弗所书这个第1章第4节，谈到说，神在创世之前就已经拣选了我们了。
And in Ephesians chapter 1 verse 10, he had said that God had already chosen us.
其实很多时候不是我们在选择说我要信哪个神，是神在选择我们。
It is not that sometimes we are thinking, "Oh, which God should we believe in?" But instead, it is God choosing us.
就像贝蒂姐妹这样子。
Just like Sister Betty.
这个绕了一大圈后来还是蒙恩
Going in a huge circle for her, but she still received grace and
不
came to
过
know
也
God.
如同她所见证的她知道要把握机会。
And just like her testimony, she knew how to grasp the time.
不然的话可能没有再来一个这个9年10年
To grasp the chance to be baptized, because who knows if there's another 9 to 10 years.
就算有9年10年一直在这个痛苦当中也是很辛苦的事情
And if there was another 9 to 10 years, being in this much pain is also a lot of suffering.
所以盼望我们亲戚朋友，如果我们道理明白了我们应该要把握机会。
So I hope that our friends and family, if they understand and know the gospel, to take hold of this opportunity
来归入真神。
to come and be in His house.
那我们谢谢贝蒂姐妹给我们这个美好的见证。
And we thank Sister Betty for this wonderful testimony.
那我们见证会也到这里结束。
And so this concludes our testimony session.
我们一起同心默祷。
And let's conclude with a silent prayer.
阿们。
Amen.
好，我们等一下聚会的时候，我们休息20。